Hey there. So I recently got myself a 3x3 Tarp. Now, for South Africans, or the South Africans I know, a Tarp is not something we are too familiar with. We we are gazebo country, so we like to go braai with our gazebo, or to the dam with our gazebo, camping with our gazebo. But I've seen on YouTube, Tarps are quite a big thing. I became quite interested in tarp. So I first got myself a nice big 3x6 tarp that I've been using a while. I'm loving that, and I've been using it when I go camping. But the reason why I got this 3x3 tarp is because I've noticed that there's actually various types of setups that you can do with these tarps, especially if they have like more than the 4 extensions on each side. So what I thought I might do is start playing around with some of the different types of setups that you can have and see what I can do. Let me just talk you through what equipment I think I might need to erect my tarp here. As I mentioned, I've got my tarp. I'll open it up now. Then I've got 2 tent poles. I've got a couple of tent pegs. And then I've got these interesting, there's actually 2 of them, these interesting little pieces of equipment. So one of the things that I battle with quite often is to get my tent poles to stand up straight, especially if you want to try and connect the tarp. So I found these cool things, I don't know what you call them, on the internet. So what you'll do is you'll connect the tent through, and then you'll use the tent pegs and peg them into the ground. And that will hopefully keep the tent pole up and not falling around. Because I don't have any trees to put a grid line for the tent. So I'm hoping that that will work. So basically what I'll need to do is first put a grid line between the 2 poles that I've erected, and then you'll have the side of the tarp coming down with a little bit of a porch. And extend the 2 poles just a little bit, and then add the grid line. So looking at it, I think you have 2 ways that you can do this, or I can do this looking at the setup. I can either utilize the links at the top of the tarp, or I can just hang the tarp over the grid line, which I think maybe I should do that. I think I'm going to change the game plan here. I want the tarp to be nice and tight. So I think I'm going to literally move the pole straight to connect into this loop, and then pull it tight. I think it's up. I had to make a few extra adjustments just in the interest of time. I pulled the tent poles a little bit lower just to give me that angle that I need. Otherwise, I'm sure what you can do is still keep it higher, but connect it with guy ropes first, and then pull it, and then put the tent pole in. But I guess, like I said, in the interest of time, as it's getting dark, I just dropped it, so it will give us the nice hang that we need. Okay, so the next step now is the lean part of the setup. So all I need to do is take my tent poles and the corners, and you see, must be careful now. I'm gonna just click it in here, and then once the porch side is up, then I might be able to pull this a little bit tighter. Well, that looks like a lean to start with, so something we can work with. Alrighty, so I need 2 more tent poles, 2 pieces of guide rope, and the next step would then be to take the other side of the tarp and lift it up and extending with 2 tent poles. So that then is the porch part of the lean and porch setup. As a South African living in a gazebo world, where would I imagine using this and why? I think I would. I think you can use it in a lot of ways. I think often when you go to the swimming pool, when you're at the oord, and you take your big fat gazebo, and you have the gazebo and the cooler, and the kids and the blankets and the bags and the braaivleis and all of that, and you literally need 2 checker trolleys to just transport your things down to the swimming pool. This will be perfect because, I mean, if you just think about the size of a gazebo when it's packed up versus this little tarp and a few poles and a few guy ropes, I think transporting this will be much easier. Setup is actually quite easy. Maybe if you are a family or whatever, more people in one, you can maybe extend the poles a little bit higher and just sort of elevate it a little bit. I mean, even here where I'm sitting right now, I can imagine you can still put a few camping chairs in, and you'll still be able to sit and have your braai or whatever. So I think there's lots of benefit in terms of, just sort of the load that you carry. Yes, anywhere where you need a little bit of shade and you just don't feel like, having a big heavy gazebo that you need to carry around. I think this would be perfect.